this is Miss Theresa. Today we're going to be going over middle C position. So this video is really a precursor for learning a lot of my other song tutorials, just to get a quick win at learning your first song. So I know y'all are super ready to learn a song, a favorite song. So this is just how to get started learning that special song. So let me show you today what we're going to go over. So we're going to first go over finger numbers, then middle C position, reading music, and finding some notes. Let's get started. So first things first, right? You have your left hand and your right hand. So if you don't know the difference, please make sure you understand that you have your right hand and your left hand. And then each finger has a finger number. So you have 1, which is your thumb, on both hands. So this is 1. Pinkies are 5. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each hand pinky is 5, thumb is 1. Something I like to do for everybody is have them trace out their fingers and write the numbers. So maybe it's a little bit better if you're a tactile learner. You can draw your hand and write out the numbers if that's better for you. So this is our finger numbers. So remember those because they're super, super important for a lot of songs you're gonna learn. So the next thing we're gonna learn is middle C. So I'm gonna teach you how to find middle C. So on your keyboard, if you notice, there's a pattern of 2 black notes, then 3 black notes, then 2 black notes, then 3 black notes, then 2 notes. So it keeps going like that over and over and over again. So if you look at the 2 black notes, the 2 black keys here, right? There's 3 notes underneath those 2 black keys, 1, 2, and 3. So the one to the very left is C. So this is always going to be C. So whenever you find these 2 black keys and look to the left, that is C. The note in the middle of the 2 black keys is D. So let me write out D so that's easier to see. So D, so this is C, D, and then to the right of the black keys is E. Oops, got that wrong. C, D, and E. So if you can remember the 2 black keys, right, and C's to the left, D in the middle, E to the very right, you got your first notes remembered. So to find middle C, which is the most important note in my opinion, is you go find the most middle C on your keyboard. So down here is a C, up here is a C, there's more C's over here, more C's down there on your keyboard, but you find the most middle C on your keyboard, and you can mark it however you want to mark it. You can use a sticker, you can use a dry erase marker like mine, or you can simply remember from, like, if you have like a button up here on your above your middle C, like if you have a keyboard, just remember that that button signifies middle C is right below it. So any way you can remember where middle C is, remember middle C, okay? So find the 2 black keys. The white key to the left of the 2 black keys is C, always. And the most middle C is the one that's the most middle of your keyboard or your piano. All right, so we have found middle C. Okay, so next we're gonna go over middle C position, which is just a simple position to put your hands while we're learning the easiest songs. So you're gonna keep your hands there while you're learning the song. That way you can easily find the numbers and then the letters associated, okay? So middle C position is where your thumbs are on, both thumbs are on middle C. So it's gonna be a little crowded on middle C there, but both thumbs will be here. And then you're gonna go down here to F and up here to G. So let me show you how that looks on my piano. So here on my piano, this is my middle C. I've marked it. I also noticed that like this button here, this bright light is right above my middle C. So that's how I remember that this is my middle C. So middle C position is both of your thumbs or number 1s are gonna be on C. So they're gonna both be there. Again, it's gonna be kind of crowded. And then your 2s, 3, 4s, 5s. So middle C position is just where you have your hands here and you keep them here while you're playing the piece of music that you're wanting to play. So this just helps you, like, you're not trying to guess where the note is. All the notes are here, and there might be some where you have to reach a little bit, like move your pinky to A, or maybe move your pinky down here to E, or whatever, but you're gonna just be mainly here. So remember the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as long as you have your two thumbs here, you should be able to place each finger on a note, and it's pretty simplified, okay? But this is how it looks, both thumbs, and then you go all the way up to G here and F, middle C position. So the next thing we're gonna go over is reading music. So a lot of the sheets that I have look like something like this, where it's a very simplified version of reading notes, where you have the note head, and it has the note and the number, the finger number attached to it. So when you're reading this, right? So the easiest way I try to make it is your left hand, right? Which is over here on the left side of middle C, going down here. The stems are going to be going down, and it's also noted with a bass clef, like this. So bass clef. And then over here with the right hand, right? Your right hand's going to be over here with middle C. The stems are going to go up. So you see that they're up, and this one's down. So the ones that go up are signified with the treble clef. So that just means over here the notes are higher, and over here the notes are lower. So when you see the stems of the note going up, it just means use your right hand. When you see the stems going down, it means use your left hand. So also in each of my notes, I try to make it super easy so that you can see the letter and the number. But to differentiate between left hand and right hand, I use the clefs over here and the stems. And then of course there's little measure lines just to break up little pieces so that it's easier to read. So again, this is meant to be very simplified. Other sheet music you may find online, it will probably not look like this. It'll have the staff lines and everything. I just do this just for beginners so that it's easy to read and you can start playing right away. So the last thing I wanted to go over was finding notes. So we found middle C, which was pretty easy, right? You find the two black keys, and it's the one to the left. D's in the middle of the two black keys, and E's to the very right. And again, the musical alphabet is A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if you can remember those, it's pretty easy. And if you can find C, you can most likely find the rest of the notes because they go in alphabetical order. So we have C, D, and E, right? And then up here we have F, G, A, B, and then it starts over again with C and then D and E. Going down here, it just goes backwards. So before C is B, A, and then before A, it starts over with G, G, F, and you're just going backwards in the alphabet as you're going down the keyboard, okay? So the best way to remember these notes, right, is this is kind of how I teach it for my students. So again, you have the two black notes here where C, D, and E live, and you have the three black keys here where F, G, A, B live. So if you can imagine these three black keys as a little house, right? Kind of box it in, it's a little house with a roof, right? So over here to the very left of the three black notes, right, you have your house. This over here is the front door. And then to a house, you also actually have a back door, so that's B. And in the middle, you got your grandma, grandpa, whatever, and your aunt. You can kind of substitute this with whatever you want, but front door, back door, grandma, and aunt. So F, G, A, B. You can remember this simply just by, following the alphabet. What the letter that comes after F is G, after or before B is A, and so forth. So again, the musical alphabet is A through G. If you're not remembering a note, if you can try to find one note like C, you most likely can find the rest of the notes. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. We went over finger numbers. Again, it's 1 through 5. 1 are your thumbs, 5 are your pinkies. Middle C, you just find the two black keys, and it's the note on the left, And to find middle C, you just look for the most middle C on your piano. Notate it with something you got. Middle C position is just your hands being placed on your thumbs on middle C, both of them on middle C, going down and going up to your pinkies. Then reading music, we kind of notated how the left hand is the stems going down, and notated also with the bass clef, and it's low notes. Right hand is stems going up, and it's the treble clef. And then lastly, reading or finding notes is, you got the 2 black keys. C, D, E live under the 2 black keys. Under the 3 black keys, you have your little house with the front door, back door, and G and A. So I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. Again, this is a precursor to learning your very first song and really just learning how to kind of position your hands, start playing music as a beginner. So I really hope you enjoyed this. After this, go find a song that you'd really love to learn and start learning your very first song. And comment below if you have a specific song that you would like me to transcribe for you or to make.